Have you ever asked yourself what lies between the flashy-looking guidebook gloss and the gravel-stained truth of Vietnam's remote mountainous heartland? And have you ever wondered what stories pulse beneath the roar of the fast-zipping cargo trucks and the hiss of their wet tires, that passing up and down here on the Ho Chi Minh Highway? And so, as I am leaving now, let me share with you this little secret. Here in the Trung Hoa commune of the Minh Hoa district, one must not expect a destination that flaunts itself. This remote place is sitting here quietly in the folds of the Quảng Tri limestone mountains because this is a region where rivers vanish underground, and ethnic traditions endure without a spotlight. This surrounding will not offer us the picture-perfect postcard, but it will offer us something better if we know how to look for it. And if we look properly, we can find here much more than our eyes meets on the surface, like the Rào Nan River that flows underground. It is a unique river system that quietly slips beneath the earth for 3 kilometers before it is resurfacing again. It is as if it is playing its own game of hide-and-seek and carving its path through a million-year-old stone and mystery. Furthermore, here is also the Rục Mòn Cave, a cavern that they do not mention much in the tourist brochures, but if we want, we can see it in the shadowed openings that are full of whispers of a complex geological period. It is also here, where we can step into a terrain that does not try to please us, but one that will evaluate us to the bare bones. Moreover, this is also the land of the ANGUvoilN people, a Viet Muong ethnic community that is rooted in practices and shaped by flood, forest, and faith of life. They are living here quietly, with their own language, rituals, and their traditional way of life that follows the tune of the forest. Here we can witness the beekeepers who are working in smoke and complete silence, farmers who harvesting wild herbs with centuries-old techniques, and homestays built not for guests, but for hosting lives that is firmly rooted in soil and the sky. It is certainly not a place for filtered sunsets and curated playlists. It is a territory for riding through rough tracks, trekking limestone ridges, and stepping into caves that are echoing with time. Here we also can eat river fish that is grilled over open fires, vegetables that are freshly pulled from the edge of the jungle, and sticky rice that are carefully wrapped in tradition. And so, this area is not the place that will shout at us to get our attention, but it will definitely grip us if we duly let it. My suggestion is that if you come next time, do not just pass through, but feel it, live it, and experience it by yourself, like I just did. And as we already entered the Ha Tinh province, let me quickly show you our travel journey of today, that started in Trung Hoa, and goes to Phuc Dong in the Hon Ki district of the Ha Tinh province and then to the city of Pho Chau. After Pho Chau we will then pass the Tan Chuang Ti Island and riding onwards to our destination of today, which is Khai Son in the On Son district of the Nghệ An province. And since we are already traversing the Ha Tinh province, let us talk a bit about this province, which has long been a land of resilience, and that Ha Tinh, meaning quiet river, has a history marked by uprisings, hardship, and change. In 1831, Emperor Minh Mang carved Ha Tinh out of the Nghệ An province and recognizing its strategic and cultural significance. Then during the colonial era, it became a hotbed of resistance, most notably in the 1930s with the Nghệ Tinh Soviet movement. Farmers and workers, armed with determination and farm tools, rebelled against the French rulers. Although suppressed, their resistance still shapes local identity today. Decades later, Ha Tinh endured heavy bombing during the Vietnam War, especially around the strategic Đồng Lộc Junction, where 10 young female volunteers lost their lives there, and today the site stands as a solemn memorial. Despite its turbulent past, Ha Tinh has steadily rebuilt itself. And with the Vung Ang Economic Zone, this province now anchors its industrial ambitions, with steel plants, ports, and power stations that are driving its growth. The province also preserves its traditions, with locals keeping their regional accent and performing UNESCO-listed Vai and Giam folk songs at the countless village festivals. If we look at its geography, we can notice that the landscape shifts dramatically from the Annamite Mountains close to the border of Laos, where we are riding along the Ho Chi Minh Road right now, and down to the east where the serene beaches like Thien Cam is located on the coastal line of the South China Sea. And then here in the west, the Vu Quang National Park, which we just passed on our left, shelters rare species and untouched forest. Then there is the Kugo Reservoir that offers boating and fishing amid the soft rolling hills. Ha Tinh also has a rich cuisine that is earthy and bold, with delicacies like the Ku Du candy, the Phuc Trake pomelos, and the very fresh squids of which are all here part of the staple food. The province's infrastructure has also widely expanded, with the National Highway QL1A and the Ho Chi Minh Route, both are main artery that are connecting villages and small towns to major cities. Tourism is growing too, but it is still quiet enough to feel the real authentic Vietnam here. Visitors arrive not only for the scenery, but also to witness a place defined by struggle and pride, and so Ha Tinh quietly invites us to witness its ongoing story of survival, adaptation, and resilience. As we can witness here, sometimes traveling across the Ho Chi Minh Highway is not a particularly poetic daydream. The scenery and the weather can make or break a route, like we experienced it here today. And this is certainly a battle-tested route, where steel and patience collide as we traverse down, from the lush Trung Hoa area in Khai Son, to the Hong Ki and the Hong Son district where the road became the pulse of Vietnam's industrial heartbeat. And as we can see, this stretches lacks palm trees and mountain breezes, instead featuring diesel fumes, worn asphalt, and constant commercial traffic. Here the highway bended away from the karst mountain postcard view and into the veins of logistical lifeblood, as heavy trucks dominate the scene, and barreling north toward Hanoi with haste that certainly disregards true driving comfort, as we shared the road reluctantly, with growling container lorries that have been stacked high with raw steel, timber, fertilizer, and heavy machinery. And as we now entered the Nghệ An province, which sits in the north-central Vietnam, we slightly escaped this traffic nightmare and are now back again on a bit more scenic tarmac. Nghệ An is a province shaped by revolutionary history and recognized for its enduring resilience. This is also the state where Ho Chi Minh was born, who was colloquially known as Uncle Ho along with his other aliases and sobriquets. He was the famous Vietnamese revolutionary and politician who served as the founder and as the first president of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam from 1945 until his death in 1969. Moreover, he was also the first prime minister serving Vietnam from 1945 to 1955. During the French colonial period, locals used their farmland for resistance activities, secretly exchanging messages and holding meetings. Here wartime bombing scarred the land, but it never broke its spirit. Today, Vinh City, the provincial capital, is bustling with motorbikes zipping through neon-lit streets that reflect its drive to succeed in a competitive world. It is also here where the Lam River nourishes the lush fields that once saw bloodshed and where students gather at the ANGU웬N University, and debating modern reform over delicious, and richly tasting iced teas. Down at the Kwa Lo Beach, karaoke fills the air while fishing boats drift as they have for generations. The daily fresh markets bustle with tourists and elders who are sharing their tales of jungle marches. Temples stand weathered but still firm and framed by cranes that are building the future of these lands. Tour guides narrate history beside relics of Ho Chi Minh's childhood home, and live stream sellers connect village goods with buyers overseas. And here along the border, trade moves with a mix of caution and pride as tradition blends with modern life. Remote districts now host wind turbines, symbols of a green future, and children play where wartime bunkers once used to stand. Although natural disasters still test the province, but responses to these mishaps are now rapid and tech-driven. And so, the ANGU웬N province is no longer just a revolutionary place, but it is now evolving, forward-thinking, and deeply rooted, as the past watches the present and shaping a generation that looks forward to the question of what comes next. And as we have now arrived here in the Khai Sun village, let us remember that during the resistance era, this region forested paths were once used by the local scouts and couriers here. Local elders said they shared news over green tea and noted that dozens of bunkers were hidden under the vines. But that of now, the new sprawling green rubber plantations are filling the area, and that today's children now attend schools where the wartime messengers once used to walk. Villagers of today blend tradition and progress, and woodcarvers now sell online, and meetings at the commune hall include both farming plans and tech training. Infrastructure has improved, with reliable roads and solar panels on certain rooftops. The local temple still rings its bell, marking the quiet rhythm of life, as small eateries, coffee shops, and groceries serving the locals and the few tourists that are stopping by over here.
Hello. Hello. You have? Okay. Good. Motorbike? Oh, okay.
And if you are still here, thank you so much for being part of my journey. I hope you enjoyed the ride starting from Trung Hoa in Minh Hoa and down into the more industrialized Duong Ho Chi Minh Road. A section accompanied by initial drizzle rain and later by sharing the road with many trucks before arriving here in the Khmer Khai Sun village of the On Sun district. For now, I am looking forward to having you with me again in the next part, where I will continue the journey to the town of Mai Chau, in the Mai Chau district, which is located in the Hoa Binh province and supposed to be a very scenic and highly interesting region. If this sounds interesting to you, hit subscribe and come with me as this next chapter is going even more off the map, when I am heading more and more into the northern reaches of Vietnam to uncover rare and fascinating locations, places that are certainly off the beaten tourist tracks, and that mark the country's final and virtually forgotten frontiers.